On a bright Saturday morning, Anna White stood in a bridal fitting room holding a white veil in her trembling hands. The sunlight from the tall window danced across the silk of her wedding gown. She had waited 32 years to feel like someone's daughter, someone's priority. Then her phone rang, her mother's name flashing on the screen. "Anna, we can't come to your wedding," her mother said coldly. "It falls on your sister's birthday weekend." The veil slipped from Anna's hand as her whole world quietly changed. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She just stood there in silence, realizing something that had been true all along. She was never really a daughter in her family, only the one who gave, never the one who received. "Okay, Mom," she whispered, setting her phone down gently. The woman staring back at her from the mirror wasn't broken. She was finally awake. Before she could even think about the next step, she knew one thing for sure. She wasn't going to live the rest of her life begging for love. To understand how one phone call destroyed 32 years of loyalty, we have to go back to the beginning. Anna grew up in a small house in the suburbs of Oregon. Her parents loved showing off their home to neighbors, but love inside those walls was not evenly shared. Her younger sister Clara had the big bedroom with the window facing the garden. Anna got the small one near the garage, where she heard the water heater hum all night. That room taught her early what it meant to be the forgotten one. Every time her mother introduced them, she made the difference clear. "This is Clara, my daughter," she'd say proudly, her hand on the younger girl's shoulder. Then she'd point at Anna with a thin smile. "And this is Anna, Clara's older sister." Never "my daughter Anna." Just a quiet reminder that her place in the family was always an afterthought. By 14, Anna had a part-time job at a bakery to buy her own school supplies. Clara never worked a day in her life. "You're so responsible," her mother would say, right before asking for more. At 16, Anna saved for 6 months to buy a dented old Toyota. She washed dishes, folded boxes, and packed cookies until her fingers ached. When she finally parked that car outside the house, she felt like she'd won a trophy. 2 years later, when Clara graduated, their parents surprised her with a brand new red Mazda. "She deserves it," their mother said proudly. Anna just smiled, even though her heart cracked a little. It wasn't about the car. It was about the message. In her family, love always came with a price tag. By 24, Anna had finished community college and finally landed a steady job as a prep cook at a local hotel. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work, and for the first time she felt independent. Then one evening her mother called. "Anna, it's an emergency," she said in that sharp tone she always used when money was involved. "Your father lost his job. We need $3,000 to cover the mortgage." Anna didn't have that much, but she had a credit card. "Of course, Mom," she whispered, already reaching for her wallet. That night, Anna maxed out her card and wired the full amount. "Thank you, sweetheart," her mother said the next morning. "We knew we could count on you." 4 months, Anna lived on instant noodles, working extra shifts until her feet burned and her hands cracked. One afternoon she logged onto Facebook and saw her parents dining at Red Lobster. Clara had posted pictures from a spa day. "Mom and I, self-care weekend." The caption stung more than she expected. She told herself it was fine, it was family. But family, she was learning, could bleed you dry. The requests never stopped. A car repair. A hospital bill. Just a small loan, her mother always said. By the time Anna turned 28, she had sent money every single month, like paying rent for a relationship that barely existed. That year she met Mark Evans, a quiet software engineer who smelled faintly of coffee and calm. He didn't talk much, but when he looked at her he truly listened. 3 months into dating, Mark noticed something while helping her make a budget. "Why do you send your parents so much every month?" he asked gently. Anna froze. No one had ever questioned it before. "Because if I don't, I'm a bad daughter," she whispered, eyes down. Mark leaned forward, studying her face. "You're not a bad daughter," he said. "You're just tired of paying for love." That night they built a spreadsheet together. Every dollar she had ever sent, every reason her parents gave. When the total appeared on the screen, Anna felt dizzy. $247,000, Mark said softly. "That's more than a house." Anna stared at the number and whispered, "It's also my whole childhood." Even after seeing the truth in numbers, Anna kept sending the money. Old habits die hard, especially when they wear the mask of duty. She poured her energy into her dream instead. A bakery she'd wanted to open since childhood. Her grandmother Ruth had taught her how to bake cinnamon rolls when she was 10. "These hands are made for something sweet," Grandma used to say. When Anna told her mother about her dream years later, the reply was a sharp laugh. "A bakery? Don't waste your time, Anna. Be realistic." But Anna kept saving anyway. Anna's grandmother had passed away when she was 19, leaving behind nothing but handwritten recipes and a locket shaped like a heart. Inside it was a faded picture of Grandma Ruth kneading dough. Anna wore it every day, even under her chef uniform. That small piece of metal reminded her why she worked so hard, to create something that was truly hers. By 29 she was taking weekend cake orders, saving every extra dollar she could. One night she told her mother, "I'm close to opening my own bakery." Her mother sighed. "Anna, stop dreaming. Dreams don't pay bills," her mother said coldly. Her sister Clara laughed from across the living room. "Are you serious, Anna? Selling cupcakes?" Anna forced a smile, though her heart was aching. Her father stayed silent like always, pretending to read the newspaper. That Christmas Clara received a gold bracelet and an iPhone. Anna got a $10 gift card. She thanked them anyway. When she returned home that night, she sat at her small kitchen table, opened her savings jar and whispered to herself, "Someday they'll see what I can build." A year later, Anna met Robert and Helen Evans, Mark's parents. From the moment Helen opened the door, Anna felt something she had never felt before. "Welcome. You must be Anna," Helen said, pulling her into a hug that smelled of cinnamon and comfort. The dinner table was filled with laughter, stories, and warm food. Robert asked her, "So Anna, Mark tells us you're a chef. What's your specialty?" No one had ever asked her that. She smiled shyly. "Pastries. I want to open a bakery someday." "That's wonderful," Helen said. "You'll do it." That night on the drive home, Anna cried quietly in the passenger seat. "What's wrong?" Mark asked, taking her hand. "Nothing's wrong," she said softly. "I just didn't know families could feel like that." Mark squeezed her fingers. "You have one now," he said gently. "You're part of ours." Those words became a light in the dark corners of Anna's life. For the first time she began to believe she was worthy of love that didn't have to be earned or repaid. It was a new kind of peace, strange, fragile, but real. But just as Anna began to breathe freely, Clara announced her engagement to a man named Brian, a flashy stockbroker who wore designer suits and bragged about his car collection. Within weeks, their mother was on the phone. "Anna, we're all pitching in for your sister's wedding. $15,000 from you should be fair." Anna nearly dropped her phone. "Mom, I can't. I'm saving for my bakery." Her mother sighed dramatically. "Clara's only getting married once. You can open a bakery anytime." Anna's heart sank. "Mom, please, don't be selfish," her mother snapped. In the end, Anna sent $10,000, everything she had saved in 3 years. Clara's wedding was extravagant. Chandeliers, champagne fountains, and a jazz band. Anna wore a plain pink dress that her mother had chosen. "It won't draw attention away from the bride," her mother explained. At the reception, Anna overheard her mother telling Brian's parents, "We're so proud of our girls, but Clara has always been the special one." Anna stood quietly in the corner, holding an empty glass and pretending not to hear. That night she swore never to cry again. 2 years later Mark proposed. It was a rainy evening in April in a small garden filled with lavender and rosemary, plants that once grew in Anna's grandmother's yard. The ring wasn't a diamond. It was her grandmother's sapphire, reset into a simple band. When Mark knelt down she burst into tears before he even asked. "Yes," she whispered. Later that night she called her mother. "Engaged," her mother repeated flatly. "To a software engineer?" "Yes, Mom." "What does his family do?" "They're wonderful people," Anna said softly. "But are they established?" her mother pressed. Anna felt her joy dim. "Mom, I didn't call to talk about money. I called to share my happiness." There was a long pause on the line followed by a flat, "Well, at least he has a job. Congratulations, I guess." That night Clara texted, "You're getting married before our 2nd anniversary? That's kinda tacky." Anna stared at the screen, stunned. Mark found her sitting at the table, phone in hand. "They didn't take it well, did they?" he asked. She shook her head. "They didn't take it at all." He kissed her forehead gently. "Then we will." 6 months before the wedding, Anna signed a lease for her dream bakery, Sweet Morning Pastries. The name came from a dream she once had of Grandma Ruth pulling cinnamon rolls from the oven as sunlight poured through the window. Robert helped her with the lease, and Helen brought her an old cake stand as a gift. "For luck," she said, smiling. Anna showed her mother pictures of the space. "It's small," her mother said. "Are you sure people will come?" Anna smiled weakly. "I'll make them come." "You're wasting money," her mother replied coldly. A week later, Robert found her sorting her business papers at their dining table. He paused when he saw the stack of bank statements, 8 years of transfers to her parents. "Anna," he said gently, "you've done enough." She didn't answer. But that night, lying beside Mark, she whispered, "He's right. I've done enough." Still, she couldn't stop hoping that maybe, just maybe, her parents would show up on her wedding day. Hope, after all, was the last thing she had not yet learned to let go of. 2 months before the wedding, Anna mailed out save-the-date cards she designed herself, cream paper pressed with dried lavender. Her parents received theirs in person. Her mother squinted at the date and frowned. "June 15th? That's close to Clara's birthday." "Her birthday is the 17th, Mom," Anna replied. "Still," her mother said, setting the card aside. "We might have plans." Clara walked in with a yogurt. "Oh, your wedding thing. Brian wants to go to Cabo that weekend." "No promises." Anna forced a smile, clutching her invitation like it might disappear. That night she called Mark. "They said they might have plans," she whispered. He sighed quietly. "Anna, maybe it's time to accept that your family can't give what you keep hoping for." "They'll come," she insisted, even though her voice shook. "When the day arrives, they'll be there." He didn't argue. He just said softly, "And if they're not?" Anna stared out the window at the rain. "Then I'll still get married," she said. But deep inside, she prayed she wouldn't have to choose between love and family again. The call came 3 weeks before the wedding. Anna was standing in her wedding gown at her final fitting when her phone buzzed. "Mom," she said brightly. "I'm at my fitting right now." Her mother's tone was sharp. "Anna, we won't be able to make it to the wedding." The words hit her like glass shattering in slow motion. "What?" she whispered. "June 15th is Clara's birthday weekend," her mother said calmly. "Brad's hosting a party for her that day. We can't miss it." Anna's lips parted. "Mom, you're choosing a party over my wedding?" "Don't be dramatic," her mother replied. "You've always been independent. Clara needs us more." The call lasted 47 seconds. That's how long it took to end 32 years of trying to be enough. Anna hung up, looked at herself in the mirror, and saw a woman in white who suddenly understood everything. She finished her fitting, paid the bill, and walked outside into the sunlight without shedding a tear. When she got home, Mark opened the door. "How was it?" he asked. She looked at him and whispered, "They're not coming." Mark pulled her close without a word. That night, while the city slept, Anna sat at the kitchen table with her phone open to her banking app. 8 years of $2,500 transfers glowed back at her. "You don't have to do this tonight," Mark said gently from the doorway. "Yes, I do," she whispered. Her finger hovered over the cancel button. "If I wait, I'll convince myself they'll change." Then she pressed confirm. The page refreshed and the monthly transfer vanished. For the first time in her life, silence felt like freedom. Her wedding day arrived under a clear blue sky. The ceremony was held in Robert and Helen's backyard, surrounded by roses and warm laughter. 80 guests came, friends, co-workers, and neighbors who had seen her struggle and rise. From her family, only one person, Aunt Susan, her mother's younger sister. She hugged Anna tightly. "Your grandmother would be proud," she whispered. Helen helped her into her dress, wiping away quiet tears. "You're not losing anyone today," Helen said softly. "You're gaining everything you've earned." Anna smiled through trembling lips. "Thank you for showing up." Robert walked her down the aisle. The moment she saw Mark waiting at the altar, every ache faded. She had baked her own wedding cake, lemon lavender, her grandmother's recipe. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. They said their vows beneath string lights that glowed like stars. That night, as they danced in the garden, Anna looked around and realized something beautiful. Family wasn't about blood. It was about presence. It was about people who stood beside you when others walked away. That realization became the foundation of her new life. 2 weeks later, while Anna was frosting cupcakes in her bakery, her mother called. "Anna, there must be a mistake with your bank," she said sharply. "The money didn't arrive." Anna took a deep breath. "There's no mistake, Mom. I stopped the transfers." Silence filled the line. "You stopped? You can't just stop. We depend on that." "I know," Anna said calmly. "But I've depended on myself my whole life." Her mother's voice rose. "So this is revenge?" "No," Anna replied. "This is peace." Then she ended the call, and this time she didn't cry. Months passed. Sweet morning pastries grew busier every day. Her customers became friends. Helen and Robert became family. For the first time, Anna's life felt hers alone. Then one autumn morning her parents showed up at the bakery. The air turned heavy as they entered. "Anna," her mother began loudly, "we need to talk about family." The room fell silent. Anna looked her mother straight in the eye. "You came for money," she said softly. Her mother's expression shifted. "After everything we've done for you." "You mean after everything I paid for?" Anna replied calmly. She opened a folder from under the counter and spread out the papers. 8 years of transfers, she said. $247,000. "And still, you didn't come to my wedding." Gasps filled the bakery. Her mother's face turned pale. "You're embarrassing us," she hissed. "No," Anna said firmly. "You embarrassed yourselves the day you chose a birthday party over your daughter." She looked around the bakery, her bakery, filled with people who truly cared. "This," she said softly, "is my family now." And for the first time in her life, Anna finally felt home.